Welcome, everybody, to the Australian NASCAR eSeries X-Series race here at Daytona this evening. I'm your host, Bryce Meddings, and joining me in the booth once again is the lovely Nigel Seidel. Nigel, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, and I'm excited for this one.
Absolutely. We're looking at one of our biggest races of the season here, Daytona. It's always going to draw a crowd, and there's going to be a few people sitting out here tonight. So we've got a fair few returning faces, guys who haven't raced much in the series this year, just crawling out of the woodwork just to try and sneak a little snatch of glory, a little bit of a 15-second moment of fame maybe when you get to the podium places here at Daytona. But we also have a fair few drivers who have been racing all season long who are looking to make their way into the playoffs with a win here tonight. Definitely one of the tracks where we could see someone who's maybe not as quick on a 1.5 mile track cause a bit of an upset and then book their way into the playoffs at the end of this season. So a lot of excitement and a lot of good racing to come tonight.
It's going to be unbelievable. Like, speaking with some drivers during the week, like the standout tonight, I hear Andy Barber from Southern Stars with his teammate Tom Pritchard back is looking for that win to lock himself in the playoffs. He won the championship in our first season, and with his teammate Tom Pritchard, who I believe is one of the best pushers on super speedways in Australia, on his team, we're in for an exciting to see what that team can do tonight, Bryce.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen here tonight with all the teamwork, all the racing, draft racing. It's very important, and if you've got a good team around you and you can sort yourselves out, you have an opportunity to pull yourself away from the pack. Again, it's also Daytona, so there's no denying it. Tonight we are going to see cautions. I don't think we could hope our way through for a green to green flag run. We're going to see cautions. We're going to see a massive incident at some point this race, and you know what? I'm okay with that. It's Daytona. As long as we only have one, then I think that's fine. I think that's the law of the universe working itself out there quite nicely. Now, 20 cautions at Richmond, however, may have used up the rest of the cautions that we had in store for Daytona, so we may be good for cautions. Who knows? It's going to be exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, also you have to remember too, from last round at Michigan, SRM with Ruben Phelps coming in second and Matthew Budd in fourth. They'll be hoping to bring that momentum into Daytona, and they will be joining us throughout the race. SRM have given their time tonight to give us some live updates and driver chat throughout the night. So thank you to SRM, and we're looking forward to working with them tonight in the broadcast.
Speaking of SRM, a couple of the drivers making a feature in the top 10 so far. That's Lockie Akuja, your reigning series champion. He's in fourth at the moment as he gets pit by his teammate Matty Ray. And Matthew Budd, he's in the seventh position as well. So 3 of the 5 SRM cars. I think it's 3 of the 5. Maybe 3 of the 4. 3 of the 4 maybe. Tonight, I'm not too sure who Noddy Tompkins is running with, or if they've got another driver joined up recently. I'll go consult the thing and get teams list and get back to you. But three out of their 4 or 5 drivers is definitely not a bad showing here tonight.
And qualifying is underway at the moment. Times are looking very tight between their first and 37th is the last time we've got. That's Henry King with 51.031. That will be the time to beat. You also have to remember too is there's going to be 8 drivers who will miss out tonight. So there will be drivers that will miss out tonight because their qualifying time. There's only 40 slots for tonight's race. So and 20 positions already taken up by the top 20 in points. So we're in for a treat. This is gonna go down to the wire. Thousandths of a second, bro.
Thousandths of a second are going to cause it. Be the reason. If you elect not to run, there's only I think 1 or maybe 2 people who have a chance outside the top who are currently haven't qualified, that being Matt Danson, who's hasn't set a very fast lap. He's 42nd at the moment, but Matt Danson having won a race here in the X Series, he'll be automatically locked into the 40, so that'll push other drivers out in front. So you got to make sure you qualify in a really sort of, if you're one of the slower guys, you want to qualify around that 28th area. You don't want to be leaving it in the late 30s because you can just get pushed out.
Oh, 100%, and you just want to keep banking those laps. You got 4 laps, and you don't want to mess up. This could ruin your complete championship if you do not qualify for tonight's race.
Absolutely. A lot of people met. We were thinking we were going to get full here tonight at Daytona, but we've only got 48 cars signed up, so not the flood we were expecting when the server pretty much filled to 40 odd cars within about 8 seconds. But it's still a really good turnout, and we're still going to get a really good night of racing. It just means less people are disappointed at the end.
Brad Newman and Matt Danson taking up the front row at the moment, 50.070 and a 50.082. These times are tight.
Absolutely, it's a shame I can't get them further to the thousandth, because it would definitely be interesting to see how far these guys really are away. So this is Ruben Phelps, SRM Motorsports. He's your Truck Series Championship. He's in the 10th position at the moment. A couple of their guys falling out just as more times came through. Still have 3 in the top 10 as it stands currently, so not a bad showing at all for these SRM boys. Now another group who have had a really good showing is the Lobs Esports drivers. So Brad Newman, Manny Tolentino, they're up in the top 3. Matt Danson's finished up with a P2, as we see just ride with Brad Newman around the track. I believe this will be for his last lap. Brian Blundell, he hasn't had a bad night. Stars boys as well, they're doing all right. They're 17th for Adam Malone, and I believe it's
Tom Pritchard is not qualified. He will not make the race if he does not put a lap down.
So far, Tom Pritchard and Andy Barber haven't. They are on track, so we'll jump with Andy Barber. Looks like this will be his first flying lap. Now, possibly leaving it a little bit late, but Andy Barber is 41st at the moment with that lap time. Tom Pritchard went up to 36, so they'll make the show at the moment. Drivers who currently won't make it: Henry King, Jaden Green, Nick Burling, Nigel Patton, Angus Lawford. Andy Barber currently will not make it. Actually, he's in the playoffs. He's locked in. So Andy's in. That drops Dave Douglas potentially out of the points. Just looking at those currently, I think Dave actually might be safe.
He's 20th, so he is safe though. Riley Curtis, his teammate, he's on the bubble right now.
Absolutely. So Riley Curtis, he's all but out there. As Andy Barber goes 20th, knocks Riley Curtis down to 40th. They'll probably see him out of the points this time, out of the race here tonight. This time, unfortunately, Wayne Burke, he hasn't set a lap yet. Winner of your Truck Series race at Watkins Glen, just a short week ago. Back here,
45 seconds to go. 40.
Or short 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
So at this
45
stage,
seconds.
We're looking at Brendan Griffiths, Riley Curtis, Angus Lawford, Marty Mitchell, Nigel Patton, Nick Burley, Jaden Green, Cameron Buckingham. Henry King will make it. He is locked into the in the top 20 in points, so he will make the race. But that will then put ET in 37th. He will be on the bubble right now.
Well, Wayne Berg, that was his last chance to make his way into the show. Lap time only good enough for 42nd on the road. So, unfortunately, Wayne Berg's night here is done before it even really begun. So, we'll be moving into our 5-minute warm-up session. We'll confirm the grid and then we'll get it back to you. But a lot of drivers here tonight not going to be able to get into the race session, just going to be having to watch from the sidelines and maybe be a spotter for their teammates who are further up the grid. So as the drivers go out for their warm-up laps, we'll just get the top 40 confirmed here tonight. And we'll begin gridding up in about 6 minutes time here. just wait. I think my co-commentator, Mr. Nigel Siddle, was just having a conversation at the moment, trying to get his positions saved out. So we'll just go over some of the drivers in here tonight. So Southern Stars have got 3 cars here tonight. That's Tom Pritchard in the 91, Adam Malone in the green number 3 machine, and Andy Barber in the red number 5. Long-time competitors here in the series, so wishing them the best of nights as well. We'll jump over, we'll have a look at the SRM Motorsports cars. 37 of Matthew Budd, then we've got the 83 of Matthew Raymond, the 06 of Ruben Phelps, the 1 of Lockie Akujo here tonight. So those are your 4 SRM cars out tonight. We'll be able to have a chat with them at points during this race, maybe under some cautions, maybe not, depending if we go green. We've got the 998 of Kobe Williams, or 994, sorry, of Kobe Williams. He's back here tonight. He'll be looking to add a strong race to his season after missing the last few weeks and not performing all too well. We got Shane Bowen in the 38, again another veteran of the league, in that he's generally around week in, week out. So good to see Shane Bowen making it into the race tonight. Aaron Gilbert, teammate of Henry King, he's in. They're more road course specialists, but they can throw it around on an oval too. So good to see those out tonight. Couple of new faces to the series that we're going to give a shout out to. Dave Douglas in the number 10. He's new face this season. He's been up in the top 10 for quite a few races this year. He's having a good challenge for a playoff spot here on the end of the regular season. Now we've got Alex Stelbovics. He's returned midway through this season. He's had a pretty decent start. I don't think he'll be a factor in the playoffs if he can't get a race win at the moment, but Daytona is an opportunity and he may be able to make his way all the way up to the top. That goes with Nick Bottrell as well. Nick Bottrell has attended more races this season, but however hasn't had the consistency really to make a championship run. So Nick Bottrell may be able to sneak his way in with a playoff win here. Same with Tim Blundell in front, both looking to get a win and get themselves locked in and then just make their points matter for the rest of the season. A new face that hasn't come back for a while is Troy Mortensen in the 038 or 083, sorry. So Troy Mortensen hasn't been around for, I actually think it might be a new driver to the league. Either way, we're back and we're ready to get the grid underway. So a bit of weather change there. It's a bit sunnier, not as overcast anymore, but we'll get the grid up and show who's who. So Brad Newman, Matt Danson, they're your row 1 and 2. Manny Olentino and Tyler Williams lock out row 2. Jaden Russell and Matthew Raymond on row 3. Row 4 is Aaron Dorman and Lockie Akujo. Row 5 is Craig Roffey and Ruben Phelps. Row 6 is James Kai Klink and Matt Patton. Nanker, Irvis and Bud are on in 13th and 14th. 15th is Alex Stebolovics. Nick Bottrell's in P16. Adam Malone for Southern Stars is in P17. Tom Pritchard, his teammate, right behind him in 18th. Scott Griffiths in 19th. Tim O'Blundell in 20th. Brad Wright in 21st. Ryan Blundell in 20th as well. Connor Nixon in 23rd. Paul Ardrady is in the 24th position tonight. Andy Barber in 25th, Shane Bowen in 26th, Andrew Dyson in 27, making his return to the X Series tonight. Ricky Hyde in the 28th position. Tom Frey returns for another week of racing in that 707 car for Synergy Sim Racing. He's 29th tonight. Matt Bailey, one of the up-front runners on the 1.5 mile tracks and even some of the shorter ones, he's in 30th position tonight. Ryan Jones, a race winner here in the series, he's in 31st. Troy Mortensen in 32nd. Jason Holdsworth in 31st. Stephen Williams in 34th. Aaron Gilbert, he makes it into the race with a P35. Michael Campbell is in 36th. 37th provisionally is Evan E.T. Tariora. I think he may have missed out. We'll get that one confirmed. But Kobe Williams is in P38 on the road. Dave Douglas makes it in on points this time by Brandon Griffiths as well. I think Brandon Griffiths has made it. We will get that confirmed with Nigel in a second.
Yes.
Brandon, Brandon Griffiths has made the show in 40th. Drivers who missed out: Riley Curtis, Nigel Patton, Brandon Griffiths would have dropped out, wouldn't he? Henry King racing, making it in on point. So Brandon Griffiths doesn't make it in. Henry King takes his place. So Brandon Griffiths missing out tonight. Wayne Burke will miss out here tonight after a dominating performance in the trucks on 2 weeks ago on Friday night at Watkins Glen. Angus Lawford misses out after a very consistent season for the Project 36 number 152. Marty Mitchell misses out as well. Nick Burling and Jaden Green also to miss the race here tonight. So quite a few cars not being able to start this race, but there will be opportunities for them to get another run in it further on in the season. But we're just waiting here, and we're ready to go. We
were going to have a live interview with SRM, but we won't get there. But we'll catch up with them later and during the race at the next yellow. We're about to go green here, Bryce.
Absolutely, we're about to go green. So about to go green. We're pace cars off, ready to go. And the drivers are racing, green flags out. It's racing for 84 laps here at Daytona on a Tuesday night. Matt Danson's on that outside, Brad Newman on that inside getting a push, and we'll just wait for the rest of the field to sort themselves out. It shouldn't be too eventful here in the opening stages of the race. Drivers may decide to move in and out of lanes, but I don't see drivers trying to cut each other's nose off just yet, as we see that outside line with its momentum just able to push on without that 026 of Russell just not being hooked up on the back of Manny Tolentino, not able to give them the momentum running down that back straight to defend that outside lane's push. However, it's really only that 3-car train at the top. Lockyer Cujo, he hasn't managed to get onto the back of his teammate, so they're not going to be building a lot of speed, as we see the low side is the favored line, at least for the top 10.
And the field's spread right out too. We've got like they're not working 2 lines here. They're trying to stretch themselves out, and they don't want a caution. But you just look right there. Tom Pritchard, he's just playing it right. He's trying to get all of his teammates together. Adam Malone, Andy Barber, and Tom. They will get together at some stage there, and they will be a force to reckon with. Patton in the Cookie Monster 58 car. He's right up there. I've done some officials with him during the week. He even had a win in the Cup car, I believe, in the officials this week. And yeah, it's great also to see that if so many officials are going on, guys and drivers wanting to practice for these races.
Absolutely, it's really good to see a lot of officials going live, especially in the Australian time zones. I know Daytona is very popular amongst the iRacing community, no matter really if you race road or if you race NASCAR quite often. A lot of people just jump on. It's Daytona. It's seen as easy racing. It's really not easy racing. You got to do a lot more. It's a lot more mentally taxing as well, having to race this close for this long, and with the finest of margins, because you're going oh so fast and you're racing oh so close. So it's a lot more.
One-stop race?
Absolutely not here tonight. It's going to be a 41 lap if you're one of these front runners. So Danson and Newman, they're looking for a 41 lap run here tonight. Anyone else in the back, it really depends how much you want to save. You can save up to lap 45 here tonight in the draft, and maybe even a little bit further if you're doing some really creative things with that throttle. So not expecting a make it in maybe it's just going to be close, so it'd be on that end of the run, but definitely not for anyone running up the front. You'd probably be pushing your luck trying to make it in one stop, unless you cycled out of the lead at some point.
It's going to be interesting. You'd be trying to save as much fuel as you can, because then it saves more time on pit road if we do have green flag pit stops. I'm hoping for a green flag pit stop, but we just never know.
Absolutely, we're all hopeful for green flag pit stops here tonight. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm being a bit of the pessimist here tonight, but we'll I'll be the pessimist, you be the optimist, and as we watch all these cars rip past, let's jump back off the wall real quick, and so we can so we can talk. But geez, these cars are wonderful to hear jumping around and, you know, ripping past the cameras on the walls. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I hope it's green flag pit stops, but I'm also, you know, kind of glass half full kind of guy, or glass half empty kind of guy. So I do think at some point someone's going to make a mistake, because you see, they're not perfect lines. If we were perfect dead straight lines, then I could see us going all the way through to a green flag stop, right? But I just don't see it happening right now. They may prove me wrong. I mean, this field has proved me wrong before, and I'll be very happy if they prove me wrong again here tonight. But I'm putting us on for at least one caution here tonight, and I'm suspecting it's going to be a very big caution here tonight.
And don't forget the synergy guys too, Jaden Russell, Tom Freer. There's a few others in there too. I haven't got them on my list of who's driving for them now. Hang on.
That's right. I think Tom Freer, Jaden Russell are the only two Synergy Sim Racing cars out there. I know Wayne Burke was another Synergy Sim Racing car. Obviously, he did not make the race here tonight. Oh no, there's a 63 out there as well. That's the 63 of Scott Griffiths. So Scott Griffiths, Jaden Russell, and Tom Freer, they're all Synergy Sim Racing cars out there tonight. At least the ones who are running the similar looking paint schemes. There's maybe a few who are running unique schemes that we're not too familiar with at the moment. Synergy Sim Racing, a new team to the league as well, so they've only just started racing within a couple of weeks past. So not
build on their momentum from their win last week.
Absolutely. It was a good win from Jaden Russell to control that last stint over Ruben Phelps. Ruben Phelps will be looking to build his momentum and his late season charge into the playoffs. He's currently running up in 9th place. So Ruben Phelps, he's someone definitely to watch here tonight. Same with his teammate Lockie Akuja. Obviously, Lockie's got that golden car and the number 1, as he's the series champion. So SRM, they do a little thing. They put gold on the car that's the current champion. I mean, it's very fitting, and I think they all look very nice. But these 4 cars are in a line. You can see this. Matty Ray, Lockie Akuja, Ruben Phelps, and Matthew Budd. Now, that's the entire SRM team. They're all working the outside lane. Now, if you're a team, you could decide to short pit, go out, and then blitz the field. Depends if you think you may lose a lap or not. So it will depend how clean these guys are. But you see that the space between these cars probably needs to tighten up if we want to get going even faster at the moment. Matt Danson's currently, you know, having it out with Brad Newman. He's getting a push to the front actually from Tyler J. Williams. Matt Danson's going to move down to the inside lane. So Tyler J. Williams does all of that work. Helps Matt Danson go, and then Matt Danson just goes, yep, I'm gonna move in now. Now it's Matty Ray's turn to push Tyler Williams up to the front, and they're gonna keep doing this conga line.
Yeah, but if the SRM guys decide to pit as a 4, that will trigger the whole field to do the same. So at the moment, it wouldn't be beneficial for them to short pit or anything. They're better off staying with the pack, because they know that they have got 4 cars at the front. They know they're gonna all pit together, and straight away it's gonna there was a domino effect, and everybody will start coming down pit road, which then will not give them the advantage that they would hope for.
I am inclined to disagree. I think they could short pit a couple laps early and then get out, and then as a 4-car train, they'll move faster than the rest of the pack.
They could do that too. I'm more worried if there's a caution if something happens or something like that.
I think you're weighing the risk of a caution happening. It's always a risky thing to do, stopping earlier than the rest of the field, but I think it's beneficial here at Daytona. It's worth the risk, because the amount of time you can gain as a team if you know what you're doing at Daytona, and I've done this with my team. The amount of time you can gain is something serious. So we see Brad Newman there giving a bump to Matt Danson on the inside, just manages to keep them within this fight for P1.
It's getting interesting.
Matty Ray pushes the 34 of Tyler J. Williams up sort of into the lead, and then Matt Danson just the shorter run of the track on the bottom. It's going to get feisty here in the back. We're actually 3 wide, couple back. Connor Nixon, Alex Develix, and Craig Roffey. They're 3 wide at the moment. Connor Nixon might be a bit too early to be going 3 wide through the middle. I don't see any benefit in what's being done right now, other than get out of the way. I want track position. There it goes, and it's almost kicked off. But yeah, that's what's happening.
What's happening is you've got the DPR boys that want to see if they can get their 3 cars together, so that's why they've decided to take it up the middle. It's smart thinking. These cars are able to go 3 wide around Daytona. There's
absolutely
no,
they're able to. I just don't see why they wouldn't elect to forfeit track position instead of force their way through to the front, where they could cause a massive incident and get caught in it, when they could all just drop under the yellow, drop back into the traffic, all then save fuel rather than getting up to the front of the field where they'll burn more fuel and they won't be able to even do it on a one stop. So
there's strategies everywhere at the moment. There's games everywhere as they're back in 2 wide again with the SRM and DPR sitting in that in the outside lane, and then you've got some synergy cars, some nitro cars, some Lobs Esports on the cars on the inside, so that they're all in, and also everything simulated with Nick Bottrell, and the 253 is, I'll get that up for everyone, and Aaron Dorman as well. He's having a brilliant run up the front tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, I've been, like, I say it's like, oh, there may not be anything to do. Like, why would you be doing that? And then, I mean, I know in the past, I've been the person to, decide to go 3 wide. Send it up the middle because you can. There's a space there. Hey, we're going to use it, right? I've done it before. I know it, but in the same breath, I am going to say it's probably the least optimal time to go is right in these first sort of 20 laps. Now, if you were doing that to advance your track position just before the end of a run, maybe around lap 30, just to get a couple of car lengths ahead, maybe it'd be all right. Get a little bit of time back on track. But moving up now, I mean, especially when you're not certain if you're going to be able to get that support going, is a risk. And it's always a risk because there's cars that move up, they move down, they move left, they move right. So they need to work out when it's a good time to move and when it's not. So Matt Danson, you'll see there, he's dropping to the back. He doesn't want a bar of anything to come. So Brad Newman's actually going to throw it 3 wide. And there's Dyson as well. He's going to try and make it hard for Brad Newman. Brad Newman manages to clear Matthew Raymond just because he had the momentum to do so coming off the corner as Matty Ray got abandoned by Matt Danson. So a couple of cars deciding to shuffle on back. It's broken up the flow on this top lane as Brad Newman jots out, and he'll take lead of the second lane and try and make it back to the front of the field in front of Lockie Acugio. So currently a battle here between Lobs and SRM. So Lobs, SRM, DPR are threatening to get involved. The number 2 Nitro car of Connor Nixon's also up there. And Synergy Sim Racing aren't too far off this either. So a few cars, if they can get their teammates up there, then it's going to get really interesting really quickly.
100% it is. It's a matter of just counting down the laps, really, isn't it? And then trying to get to that last 10, 15 that get your track position. Just buying their time here at the moment, trying to get to that lap 35 to 40, just hit pit lane. At this stage, we're looking at green flag pit stops, so there's going to be a lot of chat on the radio, hoping for within the teams to work out their strategies.
Absolutely, and drivers will want to try and get down. So as we get to the end of this run, you'll see a lot of drivers maybe move towards that inside lane just so they can make it into pit road. So Matthew Budd, he'll slide down into the inside lane right behind his teammate Ruben Phelps. So that leaves the door open for the DPR boys to form up three in line as a group of 3, and they'll try and maybe work their way forward and maybe to the front of this race at the moment. But so far, clean racing. a little bit of a hairy moment. Connor Nixon and Aaron Dorman made contact when they were all going 3 wide. Ooh, there's a block to the outside lane. That's and Newman sliding up aggressive. I think actually no, that may have been Manny Tolentino sliding up aggressively in front of Brad Newman to try and work as a pair on that outside lane, and they're going to have a lot of momentum coming off the corner. Brad Newman going to give an absolute shot to the backside of Manny Tolentino all the way up to the front of this race, and maybe, not quite, maybe will clear Lockyer Cujo this time next lap if they can't get themselves sorted down on the bottom, as we're 3 wide just a little bit further back. Connor Nixon deciding to push his way through the middle and try and make up some positions here. Drop up into the higher lane now as the other DPR cars decide to relinquish that spot and slide in behind. Not really worth it in their minds to force the issue 3 wide right now, but Connor Nixon trying to make his way up the pack. But it's still it's 3 cars battling each other on the top lane and the bottom lane. You got the Lobs Esports cars leading the outside and the SRM leading the inside. SRM not able to get hooked up as nicely as the guys on the outside. So Manny Tolentino, he'll be clear this time. He won't move down just to give Brad Newman that extra toe and maybe try and give him a slingshot down the outside here as they look to control both lanes within this race early on.
And one of the features of our X series as well is that you cannot race in our series unless you hold a B license within that iRacing, which means if you cannot race the Xfinity car in the official races, you can't race in our league. So that makes practice so everyone can have the equal amount of practice, equal amount of races that they can do during the week, and everybody can then practice their skills for these races. So hopefully a higher standard.
Absolutely, Dyson giving an absolute push of the gods here to Tyler J. Williams, pushes him right to the lead of this race. So Dyson will force another lead change here tonight. Tyler J. Williams will come around to lead his first lap. Now Dyson's in the box seat to get a run with the help of Connor Nixon down the main straight. I say straight, it's more like main curve, but that's a tri-oval for you. To Andrew Ison, he's going to get a run here on the outside, getting all the momentum, running up higher, sort of in that 3rd lane, where we will see cars later on, especially at the end of tonight's race, last couple laps or so. I think we'll see some 3 wide action, possibly even 4 wide if they're brave enough. But Dyson, he'll make his way through. Tyler J. Williams, he's gonna be hung out to dry really here as Brad Newman and Manny Tolentino decide, hey, you're not worth pushing, we're going back in front. Now Matt Danson's come back from dropping out just a little bit earlier, so they're going to be 3 wide at the moment. They'll try and get themselves sorted out. Matt Danson's got a space to move down to if he wants to. Ricky Hyde is kind of still trapped, not a lot of space, makes his own little hole there, forces Tyler J. Williams to move or turn me. Either way, it's not going to be fun if you don't move. That's what you call that from Ricky Hyde. Very lucky Tyler J. Williams wasn't stubborn and held his ground. Tyler J. Williams electing to uphold diplomacy within the race tonight and not send him into the fence. Now Shane Bowen, he's a veteran of the series. He's come up into P10. And the Synergy Sim Racing boys behind there are also starting to form up. So hasn't been a good run for SRM. They were up leading. Now they're back in the throes of 14th to 15th place. It's not great. They've had a opportunity to try and establish themselves at the front, but just haven't been able to make it work so far.
It's also to remember these drivers, most of these will be coming back to Daytona on Sunday night in the truck for the first round of the Australian NASCAR Championships, which is a partnership with Motorsports Australia. It will start this Sunday night. Looking to find the best 30 drivers in Australia, which will be held over splits of your iRating, ranging from the best to the least in iRating. Sorry. These races will start on Sunday night. Looking for the top 30 drivers to take into the national championships next year, which is exciting. And we thank Motorsport Australia once again for coming on board for the and believing in us in a series to put such an event on.
Absolutely, and you know what else is exciting? Three-wide racing, and that's what we're seeing right here. Connor Nixon on the outside with Ryan Jones. They're trying to make something work. Andrew Dyson and Manny Tolentino, they're in the middle lane trying to make something happen. But that bottom lane just hooked up. Matt Danson, Brad Newman, see you later. We're going to take the lead. Whatever you guys are doing, it's only going to be for fifth now. So the risk versus reward of running three-wide for an extended period of time, it's just going to dwindle here. They're just going to, like... all of the risk that's worth the reward is probably gone out the window, and most of these drivers are noticing it, so they're electing to fall back into two wide. Not a bad idea. Matt Danson's going to have a look around the outside of Brad Newman this time by, after pretty much sorting out the rest of the grid, but basically saying, hey, no, we're controlling this race, and you're not. So Connor Nixon, he just wants to move forward. I haven't seen much patience from Connor here right now, but it might not be a bad thing, really. It's an aggressive racing style. It can make a lot of positions up if it works out, but on the other end of the stick, it can backfire horribly if you're involved in a crash that you've kind of forced someone who may not be as experienced. Like, even though we all have to have B-class licenses here, Nigel, there is still a very wide range of I rating on show here tonight. We have drivers as low as 800 in the field tonight, so some of the drivers may not be as experienced or may not be as comfortable running at this speed, this close, and instead of running two wide, running three wide.
Also, it looks like Kobe Williams is in that outside lane. He looks like he's been hung out to dry, so he's hoping to get a slot back in the line somewhere on that outside line at some stage.
He'll try and find something. I think he decided to put himself out there to begin with. So Kobe Williams, he went up. He hasn't gotten a spot back just yet. There it is. So he'll slide back into there. As we see Danson going up high just to block the run of Ricky Hyde.
And the thing
who may
is
have tried to send it through well.
And even at this part of the race, like, we're at lap 27. At the moment, everyone now is trying to feel everyone out to see who they can trust. There's a lot of trust with super speedway racing. Who they know that can keep a straight line. The ones who know that they aren't going to get too aggressive. They're going to try to bump them through the corners and stuff like that. There's a lot of feeling out there as well, just to see who's going to be good enough that they can actually trust on going into that last 10 laps.
Absolutely. It's especially if you haven't got your teammates around you after a stop and you just need to figure out, hey, who can I work with? It's a lot of this stuff is watching and seeing who's going to move out of the way if you do something crazy at the moment. Like, if you do something crazy like send it three wide and you see someone move, then all right, cool, that's a position for me. But you just got to remember they might not be so happy to give up places at the end of the race. So.
And that's the thing you gotta be careful on too. You can be aggressive with someone now and block them and do all that right now, which is lap 28. But this is not when you want the help. This is not when you want to make enemies, because when that comes to the last 3 or 4 laps, they will remember.
Oh, they will remember you. And if you're on that outside, you need someone to push you. You need a friend behind you. You need someone to help push you forward, and then help themselves by extension of doing that. And really, if you're someone who they really don't like and they don't want to see in the playoffs this season, well then guess what? I know what I would do. I'd be looking to get that person way back in the field as quickly as I can. And you know how you do that? You drop off their ass, because as soon as you get off their bumper, they're pretty much dead in the water till the next guy comes along.
And you got to remember too, Bryce, is that some incidences that that you didn't get too many favours earlier in the season, drivers remember. And
oh yeah,
with NASCAR, it's a bit different than road racing.
No, the general saying is it takes a field to make a champion. You have to have friends within the field. You have to have people who will help you out at times, and you do that by helping them out at times. So if you've got an opportunity to push someone now, get them further up in the field, come the end of the race, then even if they don't win the race, they may be like, okay, he helped me out tonight. I'll remember that. And you might get a hand later on in the season. Say you're in a 1.5 mile race and you need them to finish in front of you need to finish in front of someone else, and they can give you a push to do that, they might give you that push. Tracks like Auto Club, especially where they're draft tracks, working with someone in a draft, if you establish a good relationship here at Daytona, then you can take that anywhere. We tick on past. This is lap 30, so we have 54 laps here remaining. Haven't seen a caution yet. Very, very happy to be saying that. There is a very long line of cars, but we haven't really had the pack split off yet. So all the cars are still within just about, you know, a second, maybe 2 seconds of each other. So not a lot of time difference here tonight between those at the front and those at the back. And we have been looking pretty much straight at the front of the race. So we'll jump around through a bit further down in the pack, see what's happening just on the outside of the top 15. So Dave Douglas here, he's in 17th. Jason Holdsworth in the, I think that's a cyan and purple number 11 he's running this time. I don't think he's opted out of the Krispy Kreme car, unless that's on his Cup car. I'm not too sure. I know he does run a Krispy Kreme livery at some point, but I don't know which car that's on. I think it might actually be the Cup car. Jason, if you watch this back and you want to tell me what you run on your Cup car, let me know. Brad Newman, he's been pretty controlling here at the front of the races. We're once again 3 wide. Ricky Hyde, Andrew Dyson, and Shane Bowman, now Manny Tolentino, they're all 3 wide. Just Ricky Hyde just deciding, no, I'm gonna go on this high line, and it's either gonna work or it's gonna fail. And by the looks of it right now, it's not working all too great for Ricky Hyde. He does need that support. Doesn't look like he's gonna get it. The only benefit he has here is able to side draft a little bit, so he's not losing a ton of time. So he might be able to just slide back in to this second lane as Connor Nixon just... Connors doesn't want to let him back in. Ricky Hyde wants to come back in, but Connor's just saying no. So Connor will slide down. This is a good time for Ricky to make his move to the inside lane, but he won't. He has a lot more momentum than the car just in front of him, but that's going to stall as we get down the back straight. Other car, the 011 of Ryan Jones, is just going to form up on the back of his teammate Andrew Dyson, and he'll give him a bit of a push through. I say that, but Ricky Hyde's actually got quite a fast car in clean air, as we're getting oh so tight here on the outside of the turn 4, very close to touching again. Now we're back 3 wide. It's kind of come and gone. 10 laps, they decide, every 10 laps or so they've been deciding, hey, let's go 3 wide. Let's just do it. I haven't seen a league race where they've been able to go 3 wide with this amount of skill variance within the field. So it's very, very good to see, and it speaks volumes of how much these drivers have improved over the last couple of seasons. Because I could tell you, in the inaugural season of the eSeries, it was not this good. We were 2 wide. We'd struggle to go 3 wide. Even just two deep 3 wide was a struggle. But this right here, this is way better, and it's a testament to every one of the drivers going out and practicing, and everyone getting around that culture of doing officials as your practice. And it's been great. And hats off to you, Nigel, and the rest of the gang for developing a system whereby it means we not only push the population of the Australian NASCAR officials on iRacing, but also improve the average field skill. Even at lower I ratings, everyone's improving. So hats off to you and the crew.
Well, thanks, Bryce. That's humbling words. I'm taken back. I really appreciate it. It's really good to see three wide. And we also did a Super Speedway Series 2 earlier on during March, April and May, which was mainly to get everyone a little bit better at these events. We were running 3, even 4 wide at Talladega for lap after lap after lap. That really gave everyone that little bit of extra practice at these events, because at the end of the day, we have to put a show on, and for the people to watch, they want to see some hard racing, and this is exactly what this is now. And as you can tell, by lap 36, drivers now are trying to pick out the positions. They'll be entering pit road soon. So there'll be a lot of talk on the radio, who they can trust and who they want to team up with to make them down on pit road, save that last little bit of fuel so they don't stay on pit road as long. So we're in for an interesting 10 laps.
Absolutely, it's gonna be exciting coming to this pit stop. Green flag stops, they're always one of the best. You'll be coming in. I'd say your earliest stop you may see is in 1 lap time. So lap 38, I think we'll see people come in at the end of lap 38 if they want to try and pit as a team. If they want to keep going for as long as they can, the longest you're probably looking at for these guys up the front, the ones who've been chopping and changing positions, maybe lap 41, 42 here tonight. So Brad Newman, he'll have about 5 laps to go, and it'll be really interesting to see go. I assume Manny Tolentino, he's going to come down with him. So they're going to come out as a two-car pairing. And they'll try and use the draft to make their way forward. They're at a slight disadvantage from the teams with 3 or more cars, who are able to rotate a bit more effectively. So pushing one car to the back and pushing others forward, just making sure that momentum's kept up. So anyone 3 cars, so SRM, DPR, Synergy Sim Racing, Nitro Racing, all those guys, they're all got a chance. They've all got a chance of making a 3-car plus train work, but it all depends on how their stops are. Now, if you're pitting as a team, your pit stop becomes much more critical. It becomes so much more critical here than anywhere else because of the draft. And if you lose the draft, then you lose a lot of time.
And also, too, you do not want to take tyres at this stop. No tyres, just fill it up if you can get back out, because that will make your pit stop slower.
Absolutely, it's all going to be tyres. As we see this field snake on out, you see all these cars dropping to the inside. That means it's going to be pit stop time soon. Drivers here getting ready and waiting for that pit stop. We'll jump on, have a look here. Look at all these cars in a single line as they rip on by. But all the cars in a single line as we keep going further and further back in the field. Oh, everyone's ready to go. SRM, they're in a good position to pit as a team right here. I wouldn't be surprised if they pit soon whatsoever. So Brad Newman may be leading, but it's going to get interesting here. Green flag pit stops, lap 40. It's coming up to start lap 40 right now. We're going to see some cars all maybe look to go in, not quite this time by. We'll have to wait for another lap, see who makes the first move. It's going to be interesting. I think from any point from now, or last lap from now, if you do a bit of saving, at least some of your team can get there, right? If you do it for another 2 laps, then you'll be right on the cusp. You'll have to do a little bit of saving to make it that 41 sort of odd laps to the end. But 43, as Nigel's just said, that's going to be your ideal stop. 43 onwards will be your ideal. Maybe not 45. I don't think it'll be worth it by then, but I think anywhere from sort of this next lap for the next 2 laps is going to be your picks to remember. So Matt Dance and Brad Newman, they're moving. Ryan Jones, he's moved up to the outside lane. Connor Nixon's on the inside. He's probably ready to go in for a stop. Stephen Williams on the outside lane. Won't be able to get in this time. So the DPR guys are electing to go longer. Kobe Williams on the outside as well. Not looking to come down soon. That's what this positioning is telling me. Jason Holdsworth on the outside, not looking to come down. So Jason Holdsworth maybe not coming down this time, but maybe looking to push it to that lap 45 marker. So anyone up top?
The 52 of Henry King and Jason Holdsworth have been in the pack the whole race. They might have a few extra laps of fuel in the race.
Absolutely, I was just about to mention Jason Holdsworth has been sitting back. Same with Henry King. Same with Brad Wright as well. They've all been holding back in the field. So the 19, the 34, and the 50, 19, 52, and the 11. They've all been hanging around the back of the field. We're at lap 42. I'd say this is probably a fair stop. Do another 42 laps till the end of the race. This will get you by. 41 laps to the end would be very, very nice. So for Brad Newman, Matt Dancer, we'll see how it plays out coming to the pit lane this time by. But Nigel, it's been great to see a green flag pit stop here tonight as we see drivers there darting, they're moving into the line. Brad Newman's coming in, sending it in as hard as possible. Oh, his teammate's going to push him through. That might be a penalty there for Brad Newman. DPR cars, they've stayed out. Connor Nixon, Jaden Russell, Tyler J. Williams, Ricky Hyde, they're all in with Brad Newman and Manny Tolentino. Brad Newman potentially picking up a penalty there. Very hot coming into the box. Very hot coming into the pit lane. So he looked actually quite far to the left and looked like he was going to hit that inside wall. But now it's Andrew Dyson and his boys' turn. DPR, they've taken the lead of the race. They're the team at the front at the moment, the only team up there, really. You got a few single drivers from teams up there, but it's spread out so much. So there's Matt Danson coming in. Kobe Williams, this time by Brad Wright's going to pull himself down the pit lane. A lot of positions changing hands. Aaron Dorman's in, Brian Blundell's in, James Kai Klink has made it into the pit lane. But this will be really important. Where's Brad Newman? Where's his teammate? Brad Newman doesn't look like he got affected by that stop at all. We'll have to watch this time by. It'll be the time to come in. If he's got a penalty, he'll have to serve it probably this time by. You wouldn't want to risk it going any longer, and you wouldn't want to risk getting lapped.
But the thing is, though, with Dyson, Jones, Kobe Williams, Henry King, and Holdsworth, Bowen, and the guys that haven't pit yet, the thing is, though, they will pit later. That will mean later in the run they'll have a better pit stop.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of cars pulling off this time by Dyson. All of DPR's in. Shane Bowen's in, Henry King's in, Ryan, Tom Freeze and Aaron Gilbert's in, Michael Campbell, Dave Douglas, Troy Mortensen. They're all in this time by. Jason Holdsworth will inherit the lead of the race with Alex Stelbovics in tow. SRM have also decided to stay out. So they're probably looking at the end of this lap. I would not think they've got enough gas to go longer. This is probably it for your pit stops. You should see the top 16 now. So Jason Holdsworth, Alex Stelbovics, Lockie Akujo, Matthew Raymond, Ruben Phelps, Matthew Budd, Nick Bottrell, Paul Ardrady, Nankervis, Patton, Pritchard, Malone, Barber. They're all coming in this time by. The only person I think staying out of that gap is Tim Blundell. So getting pushed in, there's Calamity on the pit lane. A big wreck here behind into the pit lane. We won't see a caution because of it, but it's going to affect quite a few people's races as someone rejoins from the grass across the pit lane in front of everyone. That's a bit dramatic. We'll see if we can get a replay of what happened. So this is... Oh, I think it's... We'll jump with Jason. So looking... Oh, it's even happened a little bit before. See who that was. But big there. Nick Bottrell, I think, a bit too hot on the brakes, coming in and just gets in front of other cars. A lot of junked race cars there. There's Andy Barber, good avoidance there to avoid the car just haphazardly just deciding to roll back in front of everyone else who was trying to make their way down the transit lane. So the big wreck may have just happened off the circuit. That may be the only wreck we have tonight as the field comes ripping on by Matthew Raymond. That's ruined the SRM team's pit stop. None of them are out in position at the moment, so they're going to lose a lot of time here tonight. So Matthew Budd, he's probably the closest. Lockie Ukujo and Ruben Phelps, they'll be working together to try and make their way through, but that definitely impacted a lot of driver pit stops right there.
100%. So you're going to have 8 car was affected. Malone, Tom Pritchard, 29 car, I believe. Paul Drady, he's affected by that. Who else was... there was a massive amount of cars affected by that.
James Kai Klink, I think, as well. Yep. He's been in for 3 minutes now, so he's got damage. The 253 of Aaron Dorman, he's a lap down. Paul Drady a lap down as well as a result. So not the ideal night for them. Andrew Dyson and Brad Newman are fighting it out for P1 at the moment. There's Aaron Gilbert there in the 203 car, just about to be lapped. This is what happens when you fall off the pack and you don't get out with anyone. Now you're left hung out to dry, so he'll stay high. He'll let the field through, so the field just needs to not go up into that third lane, ideally, and then they'll be fine. There you go. He's just trying to let you by, guys. Don't have to make his life harder. He's already a lap down, and it's probably a frustrating night. So a few cars affected, but
are out of the race now. So
Aaron Gilbert's still in it. If a caution comes out, here's Aaron Dorman. Aaron Dorman, Paul Drady. They're not out there at the moment, so it looks like they're out of the session here tonight, which is unfortunate for them. James Kyle-Klink, he's in pit lane. I don't think he'll be resuming any part in this race for at least a considerable amount of time. We'll have to look at who's moving and who's doing what. Connor Nixon's going to the outside. He's making it 3 wide. He wants to go to the lead of this race. So Connor Nixon not having a lot of fun here in the 5th to 6th position. Really wants to get up to be leading the race, but just gets abandoned. He's going to be hung out to dry there on the outside as all the other cars build all the momentum and they push their way through. Now there's cars in front of him, so they're going to be giving him tow. So it won't be the worst outcome in the world, but they drop down back into that second lane as they make it past Andrew Dyson. And we're racing each other really tight here on the eve of lap 50. So lots of tight racing, still 3 wide. Oh, as we see Connor Nixon getting into the back left corner of another car. He's turned him around. That's going to be a caution here tonight. Caution out. And that's going to be our first of the night. Lap 50, Connor Nixon getting involved with, I believe that was the 37 of Tyler J. Williams. So we'll get a replay from the outside and then we'll have a look at the inside of Connor Nixon's car. So Connor Nixon gets into the right rear quarter, gets hit and then pushed into the left rear quarter. So Connor Nixon making contact there, just eager to get past, not exercising patience, and they'll put us under caution here for the first time tonight.
He had nowhere to go. He would have went straight to the back, so he thought he'd push his way back in, but unfortunately it came off second best.
Absolutely. So we'll get on board with Connor Nixon. So this is Connor's view of the incident. Now, to point out a bit of information for you guys. It's not he's holding the wheel straight, so his car's going straight at that point. And then momentum's just checked up on the outside. He gets a bump forward. Not much you can do in the secondary contact, but the primary contact definitely probably could have been avoided with a little bit of patience exercise. But so Connor Nixon actually not doing too well out of that incident. He's got no bumper cover anymore, so he'll have to come down for repairs if he wants any chance of being fast in this race. Jason Holdsworth also involved, so he'll pick up a 4X tonight. That kind of puts us in a position where few cars are going to get another chance. Aaron Gilbert, primarily, he's a lap down. He'll get the lucky dog this time by. He'll get back to the lead lap and he'll have lost pretty much nothing. Now, Brad Newman looks like he's going down. He's going in. So Brad Newman goes in. Dyson went as well. Dyson went in before Newman, and I'm pretty sure Newman was in front of Dyson on the road, so that could potentially be a penalty for Andrew Dyson.
Will this
Brad
mean
Newman,
if they pit now though, Bryce, they would have enough to the end?
absolutely, they definitely would. If you stay out, you will probably have enough to the end as well. For these guys, at least up front, the guys who stopped around. It's around 41 laps, so if you stopped on lap 42, you should be able to save enough fuel under this caution period to make it to the end, but it will be tight. You probably won't want to be running up at the front of the race. You want to be racing a little bit further back, kind of in that sort of 10th to 15th sort of position, so you're still in a chance to make your way up the field come the end of the race. So you're still in a chance to get a good position, but you're also in a spot where you can save a bit more fuel and let the tow bring you around. Now, we've got an opportunity to talk to one of the SRM boys now. Who do we want to pick on?
I reckon Matty Raymond. Let's go with the team leader, Matty Ray.
Let's go get Matty Raymond. Let's pull him. Let's just yoink him straight out. If he says anything about strategy, we're not responsible. Matty Ray, welcome to the commentary box. You've been chosen at random by Nigel Zeta. So give us a short interview about how your race is going, how your team's race is going, and yeah, how's your night been so far?
Hey boys, how's it going? Yeah, we're going alright. We dodged that one by a whisker. But yeah, the plan is was just to sort of roll around a bit. I think we're coming to 30 to go when we get green here, so
Yeah, we'll be around 30 to go.
Yeah, I mean, our plan is just sort of just run it out and maybe get the elbows out with about 5 laps to go, something like that. We'll see what happens, but I got a feeling it might start getting a bit vicious up here now.
I feel like it's kind of that point where the gloves could come completely off, and it's going to be a punch on for the next 30 or so laps. Or we're going to go back green, and we're going to get a good run to the finish. Well, that said, it's been a really good night for you guys in SRM. You're pretty much all back up into the top 10 at this point in time. So you're leading the troops. So on field, fifth, 6th, 7th, and 8th and 9th fifth, 7th, 8th, 9th respectively.
Yep. Yeah, we're just going to try and stick together, look after each other a bit here. And just see how we go. Hopefully we miss any more carnage if there is any. But we got some pretty good sleds tonight. We qualified all right, and yeah, the set's not too bad, so we're confident enough on that. We've got enough juice to make it, we're pretty sure. We don't know if we end up leading, if we'll last, but I can be
I think at this point, I think at this point, given when you guys made your pit stop and with the amount of laps left to run, I believe you will be fine on fuel.
Yeah, I reckon we'll be right. What are the other guys up the head pit for then? Well, they couldn't have been short.
The guys who pitted early, so the pitted the earliest were the guys who were consistently up front, hitting the air first. So they'll have run out their fuel quicker.
Yep. So yeah, we'll see how we go. We're coming to green now though, so we'll knuckle down, see what happens.
Absolutely, no worries. Thanks, Matty Ray. We'll hopefully talk to you at the end of the race.
Yeah, mate, no worries. Hey, Nigel, you owe me a lead at Ben and Jerry's, bud.
Sorry. Talk to you later, Matty.
He's already been gone as we're pace cars off and we're ready to go green. And there we go. Kobe Williams is taking the green flag. He's launched. He's got a really good launch over Henry King in the second position on that first row. Jaden Russell went with him. Really good start from those two. So they'll get a good run out to the front of the pack. They'll get caught up though on the exit of turn 2 here. So this lead isn't going to last all too long. Actually, it might last a little bit longer depending if they can get hooked up or not. No, here comes the momentum from Henry King. He's going to slide to the outside and use that momentum to take him somewhere. Kobe Williams, he's going to push up to that outside line, try and be like, hey, you've got momentum, how about you come push me? Now, on the inside, Jaden Russell, he's going to get a push from Matty Ray, who we just had talking to us up in the commentary booth. He's got his teammate Ruben Phelps behind. Now they're separated from Matthew Budd and Lockie Akujo, who are currently trapped in the top lane. Now trying to block that inside middle lane from the charging Brad Newman in that number 40. So now we're going to be 3 wide once again. Shane Bowen up on that top line with Matthew Budd, another one of the SRM cars, as his teammate Lockie Akujo moved to block the middle lane. And there's Craig Roffery getting turned around, and we're going to be in caution here for the second time tonight. We'll get a quick look at what just happened there to cause that. But that's a lot of cars I'm seeing come up as crashed. So we'll go to Craig Roffey's car. So this is what happened to Craig Roffey. Just Andrew Dyson just sitting in the middle of the track. Craig Roffey comes up, gets hooked into the back of Lockie Akujo. Nowhere for Matthew Budd to go, so he goes up the back of Shane Bowen. Lucky Cujo again getting hit there, collected.
Out there.
Matt Danson's going to get absolutely destroyed here on the inside. They were going to see another Tim Blundell hit. Ricky Hyde's going to send Bud into the air. The 555 got airborne going over the front of Matt Patton. Stephen Williams has crashed, and this is the big one here tonight. Tom Freer also involved. We got a car going over. I think that's Nick Bottrell currently upside down. And just a lot of carnage here tonight at Daytona. So that was the big one on the track. We're going to have to see how that one goes, but definitely night done for Nick Bottrell, unless his car righted itself at the end there. I'm not too sure it did. If he gets it righted, then he can go back out, but it doesn't look like it did. That's unfortunate. So a big crash there coming from the 41 and I believe it's the 030 of Craig Roffey as well. So
Cautions breed cautions, they say, Bryce.
Absolutely, that they do. This caution should bring us to around 25 laps to go. So we'll be seeing what can happen. The whole order's changed up. So half of the SRM team, unfortunately, are now out of this race. We did just talk with Matthew Raymond, their team leader. They were hoping for a good run to the end. They did have good cars, and it was evident from how they were driving the whole night, but they're damaged. So they'll Matthew Budd and Lucky Cujo, they'll be going down to the pits this time by. Matt Pat, he's made his way to the pit lane and then subsequently made his way out of the pit lane. But a lot of cars caught up in that, or really in that incident that probably really didn't need to happen. Very, very lazy incident, very just lazy kind of drift up the circuit. So I know Jason Holdsworth, he lost I think a lap to it, getting involved.
I think he dropped out. He had internet connection, and then he came back.
Well, that might not actually be too bad for Jason then, considering he's only the second car a lap down, and Adam Malone definitely picked up damage, and also one of our drivers who could drop it at a moment's notice. Matthew Budd, he doesn't look too damaged on his car now, so maybe not a lot of damage there for Matthew Budd, but definitely going to be carrying some form of ailment. There it is. We see it on the rear. No rear bumper cover, so that's going to hurt your performance. Now we got Jaden Russell. He won last week at Michigan. More quickly, just show the season. So these were your season standings from. Well, your last race standings and your season standings after round 6. So top 5 for Michigan was Jaden Russell, Ruben Phelps, Shane Van Gisberger, Matthew Budd, and Shane Bowen. Very close race between Shane Bowen and Matthew Budd there at the end of the race. And that makes an interesting picture for our playoff standings. So we've got Eugene Alonso, Matt Danson, Jason Holdsworth, Kobe Williams, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Jaden Russell. They've all won a race here in the series. Ruben Phelps, you'd think he has a chance of winning here tonight. Lockyer Cujo, unfortunately, he's wrecked in this race. He won't have a chance. Neither will Matthew Budd. Andy Barber as well, I believe, involved. Stephen Williams and Ricky Hyde definitely in that as well. So out of the guys who are locked into the playoff standings at the moment, in that top 12, Ruben Phelps is the most likely to become a new race winner. Or a first-time race winner for this season. Definitely not a new race winner. Has run numerous races in the series so far, but definitely one here looking to pick up a win for his season. Matty Ray as well, also looking to get that win and get his ticket punched to the playoffs, because at the moment Ruben could do it. So helping out Matty Ray and getting him a win, getting him a bit of breathing room come the end of the season, just to run points for the rest of the season, because at this point Ruben will make it through. I'm sorry, Nigel. I thought I'd been doing that the entire night.
Nah.
You should have said something sooner. No.
That's alright. I've got 3 other screens going. It's just that I'm. I'm still eating my pizza today. My pizza arrived and my garlic bread arrived. Thank you
Oh,
to my lovely fiance Ollie, who delivered me pizza, and she even took a photo of me eating pizza while trying to commentate at the same time. So I do thank her for bringing me my dinner this evening. It was very nice. Paradise Pizzas in Mount Gambier does a really good pizza for anyone that's watching in Mount Gambier. They do a great pizza. Garlic bread too, I must admit, magnificent.
fair enough. Well, I would love to have a pizza. However, I'm not allowed to have pizza at the moment because I don't. Yeah, I don't do well with the bread at the moment, but it's all good. We'll be going green this time by. It's Jaden Russell. He's in the Geico restart zone. He has control of the field and goes really late in the box, pretty much right when the green flag from Barney would be waved, so he'll get a good launch at the end. Ruben Phelps and Matthew Raymond on that outside, they should be able to build a lot of momentum going up there. Jaden Russell, he sees this and he says, I'm going to go with these guys. They're going to build momentum on this top side and we're going to push out and we're going to get a good run down this back straight. So now it's all on SRM. Matthew Raymond and that Brad Newman just pushing his way through. Same with Andrew Dyson. No one really wanting to block these two, so they're going to just force their way through to the front of the field. Now, definitely no love lost between those two, Dyson and Newman, just forcing each other through. Andy Barber taking advantage of this to get through and slide down in front of his teammate Tom Pritchard. Connor Nixon as well, going to try and make his way through the pack. Caught up in a bit of a hairy 3-by moment early in this race, now back up within that top 5 as we see a massive crash. That's going to be Jaden Russell. Oh no, it's not going to be Jaden Russell, it's going to be further on back. That's going to be Scott Griffiths involved, as well as this is getting hairy just as everyone's kind of immediately on the anchors for the pace car. We don't need to be slowing that soon, guys. The pace car will be there and you will be able to let him pass, but a lot of cars involved. Matthew Budd, he's come, I think, gone into the pits and then gone back out of the pits. Not the night for Matthew Budd. Brad Wright, Scott Griffiths was also involved in that crash, so we'll get on board and we'll have to see what just happened. So it was Brad Wright involved, and that's a very soon image of involved. So we're watching what happens. Nothing really from that angle. He's coming. If it selects the camera that I want it to do, here we go. So this is Tom Freer, just a big helping a netcode right into the back right corner of the 19 car, and that collects a lot of cars. So Tom Freer, he's not going to be taking any more part in this race. He jumped back to the pit lane, so he's out for this race. I'd have to think the 19's also out of this race. A fair few cars went down pit road to avoid that incident, so they'll be carrying penalties as well.
Things are getting hairy.
Just things are getting needlessly hairy as we're onto the third caution of the night. A night that, mind you, we had a green flag pit stop in. These drivers can do it.
100%.
Just electing not to do it.
Now, if we go down to Brendan Griffiths, I am really sorry. I did not see you in the green room before. I must admit, I'm really sorry about that. If you want to jump in the green room now and jump in the broadcast with us, feel free. Well, Aaron's photography, I got taken out coming into the pits by my teammate. 37-minute beat ball. Dorman. Anyway, and Mick Burling watching the stream, guys. Great work, guys. Gutted not to be out there. Great to watch. Thanks, Nick. The Burling Motor Group is Nick's company. He unfortunately didn't qualify for tonight's race, but the Burling Motor Group does support the series as well. So thanks, Nick, for all of your support.
Absolutely. A lot of drivers and a lot of team sponsors do a lot of work to get these drivers racing, and then therefore we get to watch these amazing drivers out there, and that just definitely supports everyone. A lot of support coming through from a few of the teams as well. We wouldn't be able to do this without any of the drivers as well, so it's really good to have good drivers who have good backing.
100%. Without the sponsors, without the teams, without the drivers, we don't have a series, and they put the show on each week for us. They put the practice and time in. A lot of the times you see practice rooms, and there's 10 to 15 drivers in there practicing for these races that we put on Tuesday nights. It's an absolute honour to put them on for them.
Absolutely. 24 laps to go. We should go green with about 22, if not 23 laps to go.
So
we see
going green. We're going green.
Yeah, lights out on the pace car. So we'll go green at the end of this lap. We'll have 22 laps to go as they sort themselves on out. Come on, Kobe Williams. Let's go. You're P2 on the road. Let's get that sorted. And we'll have another crack at the run to the end of this race. So now the cars who want to be at the front are kind of there. I don't think we'll have an issue with a 3-wide situation being forced. Brad Newman and Andrew Dyson, the main guys, deciding, hey, this center lane looks really tasty. Let's go burn some rubber on it. Other than that, it's a lot of just running a bit too high. Allowing that inside lane to be used like that is kind of it's the first problem. It's the first mistake you make if you're running up that high.
But you just think, though, if Tom Pritchard can get up high onto Andy Barber to push Cody Williams, Tom Pritchard is one of the best super speedway pushers that I've seen in Australia for a very long time. He's just back from his holidays, so welcome back to the series, Tom. He's taken a 3 to 4 week break, so he's back now, made it just back in time for Daytona. So yeah, if he can lock up on that outside, if he can get in front of Connor Nixon, and then they've got the two teammates and Kobe Williams can work together, we could be in for a show.
Maybe. There's a few drivers here making their first appearance this season. So, I mean, Tom Pritchard, he's been away, so this is his first appearance, I believe, this season. Maybe, I think he may have appeared earlier on.
I think he done the eSeries. He done the first round at Pocono where he got taken out by Connor Nixon.
Yeah.
So that could be a factor here too, that maybe Tom remembers that incident.
Well, Tom and Connor are sitting next to each other. The pace car's off the track. It's on to Brad Newman. When he gets in this Geico restart zone, he has control of the field, and when they go, he'll go around the middle of the zone. Everyone else kind of cottons on, gets a good jump with him. So Brad Newman, he'll be able to clear up into that top lane, but it's not a massive jump. So he'll make it through. Connor Nixon's going to be right on the back of Andy Barber, and he'll try and push through. No, Andy Barber's now being dropped on the outside line, so inside line is definitely preferred at the moment. Andy Barber's going to have momentum coming off the outside. We'll see if Tom Pritchard decides to move out with his teammate here. So Tom Pritchard, he's going to shuffle up, and there we go. So the Stars boys, they're getting connected, they're getting sorted to try and make a run for the lead of this race. Matthew Raymond as well on the outside, carrying serious momentum with the help of Matt Bailey, who we haven't talked about much tonight. Matt Bailey up 20 positions from where he started. So started down in 30th, up to 10th. Very strong contender for the win here tonight. Very strong. Very good position to put yourself in with 21 laps to go.
And here we go. That outside line's starting to get a bit of momentum up the front again. The outside line's usually the quickest around here. We've got a massive train behind it. So Andrew Dyson's going to lead that high line with Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard behind him. Matty Raymond too. As we head down the back straight, that inside line of Brad Newman, Kobe Williams and Connor Nixon. And that's Jaden Russell in the fourth car back. So he won the race last week. He's hoping for that to double it up and get it back-to-back wins.
I believe he'd be the first back-to-back winner in the series, if I'm not mistaken.
So, yeah.
If he wins here tonight. First back-to-back series winner in either the Truck or the Xfinity Series. We haven't had a back-to-back winner in the Truck Series yet. We haven't had any multiple race winners in either of the seasons, either of the series yet this season. So very spread out competition. A very spread out competition. A lot of opportunity to get these race wins, especially here tonight. Probably your best opportunity for a race win if you're not often in the top 10 and you need a win. This is your chance to do it. or if you're just on the edge of the top 10, like normally, so you're not running terribly in points and you're very consistent, but you just need a win to make yourself feel secure, Daytona is a perfect opportunity to get yourself a win.
100%. I mean, we're just down to 20 to go, 19 to go.
Yeah, not 19 laps to go.
But we're going to see 3 wide very shortly.
I think they'll hold off on it for a little bit now. I think at this point they all want to just kind of maintain, because if you go 3 wide, then there's a position for you to drop back, right? So 3 wide, it's a timing game at this point. So we want to time it for when we're gonna know we're gonna get the best run possible, and we're not gonna lose out too early. So we can't go too early now. That's the thing. We can't force a 3 wide probably until around 12 to go, maybe even 10 to go. You'll start seeing 3 wide. That's when I think you'll see it. Maybe even less, just because you still need time to clear the cars. It takes a couple laps to build the momentum. And
16 cars in this pack here, that's all waiting for that. Just trying to break themselves away. Jason Holdsworth, he's the lucky dog at the moment. He's sitting behind his back, just thinking to himself that maybe hopefully one of them will wreck. He'll get his lap back, and then he's back in the dance as well. But at the moment, these 16 cars look pretty solid out front and counting down the laps.
Yeah, counting down the laps. 18 to go. So if a caution comes out, I think it'll come out with about 5 laps to go. I think that's when we're going to start seeing some really bold driving and some really ambitious overtakes, or attempted overtakes. And Jason Holdsworth might be in a good position just to hang off, get sorted, make sure you don't get a 4X, don't pick up an incident point here till the end of this race, and then get your lap back, get going, and potentially even pick up a top 10 finish here.
So at the moment we've got Dyson and just trying to pick the teams that we've got there at the moment. We've got the Stars with Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard. I think we've got Matty Raymond and Ruben Thurles with SRM there. They're teammates.
Yep.
I'm just trying to work out who. Jaden Russell up there. He's
Synergy Sim Racing for Jaden Russell. You got Lobs Esports, Brad Newman. He's leading the race at the moment. So they're single drivers. You got Matt Bailey, a privateer, I believe, here as well tonight. So none of his teammates around. Nankervis's teammate plunked out in the pit lane, I think. That was Nick Bottrell. So he's out tonight. Alex Stelbovics is, I believe, associated with the Nitro Racing guys. So he's racing, I believe, in the same Discord. I don't know if he's on the team or not. From memory, I don't think he is.
And you also got Stevie Williams. He's Dyson's teammate, so he's just down the back there at the moment. So he might start making him run up the front to protect Dyson for the win as well.
Absolutely, he'd have to get a move on pretty soon if he wants to get there. There's a lot of cars to work his way through, and not a lot of room to really do it. Connor Nixon just sitting pretty far back on that inside lane could definitely be helping out Kobe and Brad Newman up the front there, just to try and push out in front of Dyson up the top. But Dyson's got good support from Andy Barber behind, and they're going to try and make their way in front. They're trying to work the momentum on the outside lane, so the more momentum they can get, the more sling they can throw. Kobe Williams that time by didn't get a good run, so there's an opportunity for Dyson to move down. Andy Barber isn't clear, so Dyson's going to stay up top. It extends his run, and it lets Brad Newman almost close the gap, but it does allow for Andy Barber to potentially get down into the front with Andrew Dyson, and then they can just protect that front from Brad Newman.
Matt Bailey too, we've spoken about him only once this evening, but he's sitting very nicely there in 8th place as well, so he can make a late run too, as Dyson heads down to that inside lane, which leaves the outside for Southern Stars and SRM. Now this is just starting to heat up.
Absolutely. You see Tom Pritchard, he's right onto the back of Andy Barber, trying to get him that push down the back straight. It's going to take a lap or two to get that momentum back up. Having Dyson jump out kind of stalls the air on the front of Andy's car, slows them down a little bit. If Pritchard can get on the back and get tucked up right nice and close and give them bumps down each of the straights, then they should be in a good position to push forward and potentially have a crack at winning this race. As we see Brad Newman electing to go 3 wide, he's going to touch the back of Andrew Dyson. So he tries to go down the middle. Now he's going to force the issue 3 wide coming off the corner. So Brad Newman trying to push that middle lane, trying to make it work. He's the only one there. So Andy Barber on the top, he's going to get pushed through by Tom Pritchard. He should be actually able to clear this mess down in the middle 2 lanes. So he's going to stay high. His teammate's there, so he doesn't want to give up on him just yet. But Brad Newman's going to have Ruben Phelps come through, and now we're 3 wide, 2 rows deep in the pack. And we're going to see the Synergy Sim Racing car of Jen Russell get pushed out with 3 wide, 3 rows deep. Brad Newman's going to take the lead of this race with the help of SRM behind. So now it's going to get interesting. 12 laps to go. Here it is. This is your 3 wide. I don't think we'll see it disappear from 3 wide for the rest of this race. If they manage to keep it all together. Kobe Williams sagging very far behind Andrew Dyson on that inside line. Not going to be helping his run down the back straight. Southern Stars haven't had a good run up top either. So the middle line looking truly dominant, as you see Ruben Phelps tucked right up under the bumper of that number 40, giving him all the energy down the back straight. And he just needs his teammate Matty Ray.
Here comes Stevie
Williams.
In that middle lane, will he drop down? Will he drop down?
No, Brad Newman's gone down to the inside. He departs the company of Ruben Phelps. Stephen Williams will want Ruben Phelps to get going so that he could potentially get his teammate involved. And that's so Stephen Williams did listen to us just before. We told him he needed to get a move on if he wanted to get further up the grid, and get a move on he did. So Stephen Williams, he'll make his way through. But at the moment, SRM, Matthew Raymond, Ruben Phelps, they're working their way forward. Andrew Dyson giving a massive push there to Brad Newman, the 40 and the 41 working together respectively. Now you got Stevie Williams on the outside. He's not going down. He's going to try and control those top 2 lanes, trying to make sure that 3rd lane doesn't become viable. But Andy Barber, he's trying to make it work, trying to make his way around the outside. They kind of need a 3rd car up in that lane just to get it work. There's Stevie Williams. That's an opportunity to go down the middle. Now he's going to take it. He's going to force Matty Raymond up to the outside, and we're going to have lap traffic. We're going to have lap traffic here. They're going to want to probably get onto the bottom of the race course. Brad Newman got pushed off the racetrack by Stephen Williams as he came down. Henry King just able to hang on, just able to make it through by the slimmest of margins. And now it's the DPR cars on the bottom. So we got a few lap cars just kind of in the way. Henry King is not one of them. He's fighting for a win. But we got lap cars on the bottom of the racetrack. And just a bit of a miscommunication. Brad Newman, Andrew Dyson, they've come to blows. So they've gone hit. Matthew Raymond's involved, but that's Brad Newman hard into the inside wall. But Matthew Raymond, he makes it through relatively unscathed. His teammate Ruben Phelps as well makes it through. But there we go. That's 9 to go. We're still green. We have not come under caution, so we're still green. But that's going to be a big wrench in how these final laps play out. They've got to get they've got to get formed up, and they've got to get going really quickly here if they want to make a charge for the race win. Because Stephen Williams and Kobe Williams, the Williams pair, they're out in front now, and they've got a 3-second lead over Matt Raymond, and they've got 9 laps. I'm pretty sure that crash is all but handed the win to one of these 2 drivers. Unless Matthew Raymond, Andy Barber, and Ruben Phelps are able to make up some serious ground here to the end of this race. And if they do, there's Dyson definitely has damage. He's dropped back. He went hard, pretty much into the wall. But these guys, they caught up 7/10 of a second in that lap, so they'll be there. So it's going to be around probably about 5 cars here for till the end of this race. Matt Bailey just desperately trying to hang on. He's just probably on the edge of the draft at the moment.
They are better off waiting for Matt Bailey to come and pick him up and get 4 of them in a line. They're better off slowing down.
I don't think they have to slow. I think he's close enough that it'll make it work.
He's close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Matt Bailey. The gap is 1.7 seconds now. He's fallen out, so he's not able to do it. But he should get picked up by the 2 behind him, Dyson and Gilbert. Oh no, they're pitting, so he won't get picked up. So Matt Bailey's kind of out to dry here. right now. So Ryan Jones actually is the next car back. He's the lap car. He'll be trying to make his way through. But a lot of cars out of this race. We only have 11 on the lead lap now, and that's probably going to go down. So we see Matty Ray. He's making a move, pushing Kobe Williams to the front of the field. So Matthew Raymond, he's made a move. His teammate Ruben Phelps has kind of fallen off the back of the pack, not able to hang on. So 3/10 behind Andy Barber, not terrible. He can claw that one back in. So he's still within the draft, still able to make an effect on this race. But it's Matthew Raymond here for SRM. The team leader, he's going for it. 7 laps to go. Hasn't got a win this season. Same with Andy Barber as well. Birthday boy not too long ago. He wants to find a race win here in the X Series. He's going to get on the back of Matthew Raymond. He's going to push him through to the race lead. So Kobe Williams, he'll have to concede down to P3. And now it's Andy Barber and Matthew Raymond. It's their turn to push on and make a move to the, well, they're already leading this race, but they're making a run to the end. Now Kobe Williams and Stephen Williams, the Williams team, they're coming back. They're gonna get momentum here. They're gonna push each other, and they're probably gonna go straight to the outside of the pack. And Ruben Phelps, he's oh so close. He just needs a little bit of a break here. Oh, that's not gonna help him. Lap car, just if you're going low, stay low. Otherwise, don't do it. Ruben not quite happy. So the 555 there, just getting in all sorts of the wrong places, and that may have cost Ruben a chance at a win here tonight. I think it actually will have. He's now 2 seconds adrift. That has cost Ruben Phelps a chance at a podium position here tonight. He should be able to maintain a top 5. From Matt Bailey, but yeah, a top 3 finish has just been taken away there.
So right now, Matty Raymond's still in front.
Yeah, Matty Raymond's still in front, still got the support from Andy Barber behind, but at the moment he's kind of at the mercy of the cars behind. If they want to go high, he's got to read it. He's got to block. He's coming 4 laps to go. It's that point where if you see them going up high, do you risk going high and like blocking their run, taking the momentum off the top line, trying to use the air of the car to block their run just a little bit? But Andy Barber looks like he's pretty settled in behind Matthew Raymond at the moment, so may push him just to the win. And that's what it'll be. It's more beneficial for Andy to push Matty as hard as he can up until the last sort of corner, or the last, maybe even the last sort of short dash to the line. It's way more beneficial for him to push him, because he'll get all the speed and he'll have a lot more momentum. And whereas Kobe Williams, if he goes out, he has to battle the air after a certain period. His momentum will carry him a distance forward, but it may not carry him through air if there's no car in front of him to sort of break that up. So it's all onto these guys here. We got 3 laps to go. Nick Bottrell staying high. That's how you should let cars by at the super speedway. If you're a lap car, you should just run that outside line. Give them the inside. Don't interfere with the race. Now, we got
Stevie Williams is dropping off. Is he? Is he dropped off? Oh no, he's still there. No, he's sorry. He was just out of shot there. I couldn't quite see. He's still. It's a 4-car race.
Absolutely. Stephen Williams just dropping out. Tom Pritchard, Matthew Bailey, Jason Holdsworth, and Aaron Gilbert, they're all forming up together. Aaron Gilbert, Matt Bailey, and Tom Pritchard, they're all on the lead lap. Jason Holdsworth is a lap car just in this group kind of helping out. So they're going to try and push forward. Now they might be able to catch the number 5 of Ruben Phelps, or the number 6 of Ruben Phelps in that P5 position. Now, Matty Ray, he's been abandoned by Andy Barber, who may have gotten hot, so he may just be running in that outside lane to cool his car, make sure he's got enough, he hasn't got a high enough oil temperature to blow the car up on the way to the line. And we've got 2 laps to go, so this should be a white flag this time by. So now it's all on Matty Ray. Andy Barber, here it comes. Andy Barber to the outside. He's going to have the support of Stephen Williams, who's going to just get to that outside. Maybe look 3 wide. Not the time to do it just yet. Try and use the momentum. Try and push Andy forward. Use that momentum. Push Andy forward. Let him go. Now, Matty Ray's going to get the job of pushing Andy Barber down the back straight. Now, he'll want to try and use that momentum. He'll try and want to push on the back. Stephen Williams, he's got enough momentum to get alongside Matty Raymond here. And now it's all on how Andy Barber controls this race here. He doesn't get up into that lane. Doesn't get up. Kobe Williams is going to get on the back of Stephen Williams now. So Stephen Williams, Andy Barber, Matthew Raymond. There's nothing in it here. Matthew Raymond just tucked in so tight on the back of that car. Kobe Williams comes down to the inside. He's going to abandon him. Oh, Kobe Williams has turned himself across this nose of Stephen Williams, and it's going to be a race to the line. It's going to be Matthew Raymond winning it by 0.01 second here tonight at Daytona. So Matthew Raymond clinches the win over Andy Barber. Stephen Williams gets third. Ruben Phelps actually finishes in 4th position due to Kobe Williams crashing out there on the run to the line. Aaron Gilbert in 5th. Tom Pritchard, he'll finish in 6th position. Bailey in 8th. Kobe Williams will come in over the line in P9. Dave Douglas in P10 and Henry King in Dave Douglas in 9th and Henry King in 10th. That was a very, very exciting race as we wait for the rest of the field just across the line. When we get the results of the race, we'll watch Matthew Raymond pick up his first win of the season and lock himself a ticket to the playoff series in 2024. Now, Nigel, that was an amazing race win here tonight for Matthew Raymond. It was an amazing race. Well done by both drivers here tonight to race hard and fair all the way up until the checkered flag. Matthew Raymond winning it by the smallest of margins here tonight as his teammate comes and drives on by, and he will start to burn it down here at Daytona.
I think he'd be a happy man.
There he goes, ripping it out straight up and around. Donuts on the finish line. Matthew Raymond, take it all in.
He's been working all week too, Matty, so to jump back in the rig and get a win, well done, Matty.
Absolutely.
Puts himself in the playoffs too.
Absolutely, he does. He makes his way into that playoff with a very, very, very like hard fought race win. It's not your typical Daytona, like, you know, just anyone can win it. That was a hard fought win there at the end for these boys. And Andy Barber finishing a really solid P2 as well. I wouldn't be, if I was Andy, you'd probably be a bit annoyed you weren't able to get it. Being beaten by 0.01 of a second is it always like rips your heart out a little bit, like you've just been beaten at the line. But yeah, definitely a good race there for Andy and something he should be proud of, that racing at the end.
So I guess we start with the interviews, I guess.
Well, we'll start with the interviews when they all make their way to the green room. Now, currently, we're waiting on a missing Stephen Williams. I guess we could start with Andy Barber.
I've got the wrong results up. Hang on, what's going on here?
So,
no, you're right. I've just got my screen wrong, that's all.
so we'll get Andy Barber in first.
So 3rd place was Ruben, wasn't it? 3rd place was Ruben?
Was 3rd place Ruben?
Well, that's what I've got on my...
Hold on.
Technical difficulties.
It was Ruben Phelps. Was there a disqualification for Stephen Williams getting incident points at the line, or a penalty at the line getting a drive-through? Maybe. I think that's what it might be. 30 seconds off the race lead. That does say to me that it would be a penalty. Yes, okay, well that promotes Ruben Phelps into 3rd position. So we'll jump in. We'll start with Ruben here tonight. So we'll bring him on in. Ruben, welcome to the booth. weren't expecting to see you tonight, but finished in P3. Our unofficial results had a different driver finish in third, but you have picked up the third position, I believe, because of a penalty. How a well-earned race tonight, and how'd you go?
It was eventful, but even though I finished fourth and someone else finished there and someone got a penalty, they shouldn't have got themselves a penalty, should they? So it's still, if you get third from a situation like that, it should be rightly so.
Oh, absolutely. Don't mean anything by it, by you not driving well. You drove well the entire night. I was just saying I wasn't expecting to see you because my thing was saying one thing, and then the actual thing is you're come third. You've earned that. You are unfortunate they're not to. I think you had a bit of an incident with lap traffic. I believe you would have been in the mix anyway for it. Just having that lap car kind of in your way really just kind of stunted your chances at the end. So you're definitely on for a top three regardless. Like, I'm not knocking you or anything, and please don't think I'm doing that. But no, just definitely you were racing well the entire night. You and your whole team were. To be fair to you all.
Yeah, no, it's been you've called on me for winning a race over the last few weeks, and I still can't quite make it there. So it's like
I need you to win one. I need you to win one. I did say tonight at one point that you might push your teammate Matty Ray to a victory because you're currently in on points. Matty's outside of the top 12 for points this season. So I thought, hey, you might push the boss in and get him a race win, lock him in, and then maybe you work for one of your own later on. But no, just so happened to Matty had to fight tooth and nail for his victory here tonight, and you fought very, very well for your P3 as well. So I'm hoping you get a race win soon. How are you feeling about next week's race?
What was it in Darlington next week? Is it?
It's at Darlington next week. Yeah.
I'll work that out once I get some practice, and I haven't obviously done any laps just yet, but I usually don't worry about that until after this event anyway, usually on a Tuesday night. So, but Darlington's usually a good race for me, so because it's more about consistency rather than trying to smash it every lap, and even though you need the Darlington stripe to at least say you've done something right. So, but with tonight's race though, it was always going to be one of those types of races where everybody has an opportunity to win, and it could be a clean race, a wreck fest. You just don't know. And at times we were like, we're at the front and we got sort of swarmed to the back, but most of it's all strategic. And but at the same time, we worked as a team and stayed together as the most part. Of course, we got all spread out near the end with a couple of those checkups with slow cars and leaders doing silly stuff, and I had to check up and lost that lead. But nah, we're doing a good job here, and we managed to salvage a good finish.
Absolutely, P3 on the road is nothing to scoff at, and your P1 finish is coming. I can just feel it. I think Darlington may be the week, and if not, I think you might do well at the week after. So I'll keep putting you out as one of my picks to win a race, and I hope it comes true. But if you have anyone you like to thank, we're not going to ask you to thank the goldfish. I think we had someone already thank the goldfish, but friends, family, sponsors, anyone else in the car you would like to thank.
We'll just thank the tadpoles or something, but of course Matty Ray for SRM, and of course you guys for putting the broadcast on. It's always good to watch, and always it's always fun. And I'll leave the sponsors for Matty because team owner knows everything and helps out with a lot of stuff, so it's good.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your P3 finish tonight here, Ruben, and I hope to see you back in the booth again next week.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ruben. Alrighty. Now, going on to our P2 finisher, Andy Barber. Nigel, you can do all the questions here.
Okay, I'll stop eating my pizza.
Yeah, you need to stop eating your pizza. Andy Barber's in the broadcast booth. Welcome, Andy.
Hey kids, behaving yourself?
Oh, that little bit.
Pizza.
Mm.
Tell us about your eventful night.
Oh well, didn't have any pizza in it.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a good race. Big field. Yeah, no, I was surprised with the pace tonight. A lot different to the officials that were practicing this morning. So, yeah, just testament to the how far the bar has been raised with the league and how fast these guys are going, especially on a super speedway scenario with 40 cars. So, yeah, just narrowly missed it, but yeah, gave it all we had at the end.
So, yeah, you've been doing a lot of officials during the week. Did that help you tonight at all?
Yeah, it certainly did. Yeah, this one was slightly longer than the officials, but yeah, just basically running setups and finding what works and what doesn't. And I thought I actually did have quite a quick qualifying setup, but yeah, I think I ended up qualifying 24th or something. So I was buried, and that was surprised me. So kind of made me question the race set a bit. But yeah, no, just during the week we made some tweaks to the car and tried to make it a little bit faster, tidy it up, and yeah, thankfully it did hang in tonight.
Well, congratulations. I've really got no other questions for for you tonight. So if you want to give a shout out to all of your sponsors and friends and family and whoever you want to shout out to, shout it out as
No
loud as you
worries.
can.
Yeah, just first off, all the admins in the league, yourself, Nige, Bryce, and all the other guys, Jace, that make all this happen. Without you guys, we wouldn't have this. So thanks very much, and thanks for the broadcast too, because you guys been kicking ass, and it gives everybody something to watch back, later on tonight or the next day. Congrats to the podium, Matty Ray and Ruben. Yeah, tried to get him at the end there and tried to pull a Swifty on him, but he got me back at the end. And yeah, just the Southern Stars team. Adam, a bit unfortunate tonight with another packet loss, but we're working on that. Good to see Tommy back in there, and he was helping up the top there late in the race. So yeah, I learned most of my super speedway driving off him. So shout out to Tommy. And yeah, just Mrs. Excel Garage, TNA Holiday Parks, TwistX, and RBI Trading Cards.
Well, congratulations, Andy, on your second place, and hopefully see you Friday night for the trucks.
Cool. I'll steal a PC pizza and nick off then.
Thanks, bud.
Alrighty, that was Andy Barber, P2 finisher tonight. Now, your race winner, Matthew Raymond, first time winning in the series this season. Matthew Raymond, welcome to the booth.
Hey boys, how's that one, eh?
That's pretty good. So, talk us through how you're feeling those last two laps.
Normally with about 2 to go, when it gets like that, I stop breathing, stop blinking, my eyes start watering, and I start yelling at the boys to push the shit out, push me as hard as they can.
You sound like Eminem there.
But yeah, no, that was good, eh? Not too bad. I got a chicken dinner and with my ice cream now, Nige.
Oh, I'll have to send Jeff a couple tubs of Tom and Jerry.
But no, we're real happy with that. It sort of worked out. Got a bit of lucky at the end there when that last wreck broke out. So we just
Absolutely
scraped through that a little bit. I thought I hurt my car pretty bad because it sort of jumped like I'd hit a speed bump, I thought, oh, I'll probably ripped the rear bar off it or something, but still had plenty of pace. And yeah, coming to the line, I thought I'll have a dig at Andy because I was hoping he'd stick with me and we'd just ride it out, and the other two might wreck or something trying to race each other. But he ended up going around me. I'm like, oh, bugger you. So I went round him at the end there.
Absolutely. Well, the other two actually did wreck themselves out. Kobe tried to follow you through a gap that was not big enough for the two cars to go through, and ended up actually getting turned into the outside wall. So it was quite a chaotic finish. We saw that happen, and then we see you ripping around the outside to just sneak the win away. So it was a great race to watch, and something that was like, just a great race to watch, and something that as a driver, I'm sure you just love to be in those moments where it's a tight finish at the end and you're racing tooth and nail, and it's like when you get that win by the thinnest of margins and you're like, did I get it? And then you see the time come out and you see the official result and you got that win by pretty much a hair. It's a great feeling. So
yeah, it is. I really didn't expect, like, I poked the nose out coming out of 4 on Andy there, and it just took off like a rocket. I really didn't think I'd get that bigger, because I didn't have that big of a run on him. And from what I understand, the side draft is pretty well non-existent on these cars. But yeah, just it took off like a rocket. And like you said, I think those two or something wrecked in the mirror, but I wasn't really watching that. So yeah,
And
no, it
it
was
was
good.
all just
I was looking where I'm going, not where I've been.
it's a great finish tonight, Matty. Well, we talked to your teammate Ruben. He said he's going to leave the sponsors to the boss. So if you've got anyone you'd like to thank here tonight, this is your moment.
Yeah, as usual, we got Ray, or Moondog as they call him, on the main streets of Adelaide. He looks after our t-shirts and graphics and stuff like that. And we got the lads down at Aussie Cano who flicked me personally a couple of dollars to help with subscriptions and setup costs and stuff like that. And a couple of charities that we support. The Tourette syndrome, as Lockie suffers with that on a daily basis. And the Alopecia Foundation, which Brenton Henderson suffers from. He's just going to be joining us again soon. He's just come back from the army, so he's got a bit of a break. And yeah, hopefully we'll see him on the blacktop with us soon. So, and to you guys putting on the stream, of course, and my teammates, Rubes, Lockie, Matty B. We all did pretty good tonight, and yeah, Rubes was a good pusher and looked after each other as best we can until a couple of them got wiped out in the wreck, I think. But no, it was good. Yeah, it's a good night. Thank you.
No, it was a
Congratulations,
pleasure.
Matty.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
No,
Cheers,
pleasure always watching you guys race around the circuit. So we'll hope to see you join us on Friday night for the Truck Series race.
Yeah, I'll be there. Where are we? Lady in Black or something, isn't it?
Darlington.
Yeah, I don't mind that
Darlington,
joint,
yeah.
but we'll see how we go. I'll work on the get out in the shed, shine up some bullets, and see if we can get a decent set for it.
Nah, all good, Matty. Congratulations, and see you next week.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Alrighty, well, that wraps up another race here in the Truck Series. We'll just run over the finishing order. So it was Matthew Raymond taking out the win. Andy Barber in P2. Ruben Phelps was in P3. P4 is now Tom Richard. Matt Bailey's in P5. Kobe Williams gets home in 6th position. Dave Douglas in P7. Stephen Williams, after a penalty, will come home P8th after finishing 3rd on the road. Aaron Gilbert in 9th. Henry King 10th. Good result there for Team Jinx Shifters. Jason Holdsworth recovers for an 11th place finish. Ryan Jones, Lockie Akujo, Jamie Nang Curvis, and Evan E.T. Teora round out your top 15. Andrew Dyson in 16th after that massive crash, followed by Alex Stelbovics, Brad Wright, Jaden Russell, Brad Newman, Connor Nixon, Nick Bottrell, Matthew Budd, Scott Griffiths, Matt Patton, Tyler J. Williams, Tom Freer, Brian Blundell, Adam Malone, Tim Blundell, Craig Roffey, Matt Danson, Shane Bowen, Manny Tolentino, Troy Mortensen, Ricky Hyde, Michael Campbell, Paul R. Drady, Aaron Dorman, and James Kai Klink, all drivers who finished a considerable number of laps down here tonight after a significant crash at near to the end there. But that wraps out another night of racing here in the Australian NASCAR eSeries. Now, it's very important we remind everyone that the Australian NASCAR Championships are starting on Sunday night, if I'm not mistaken. Nigel, do feel free to jump in and correct me. So if you're interested in racing in the qualifying series this season, go get your Motorsport Australia license. Go get that sorted, get your sign-up form in, and we'll get you sorted to go racing this Sunday night. I myself have to go do that, but I will be there. I'll be racing. And I hope to see a lot of drivers out there with us too. I think we've nearly got enough to fill 3 splits worth of racing. So, really exciting time.
Great. It's going to be awesome.
That it is. Well, I've been Bryce Mannings, and this has been Nigel Seidel, and we hope you enjoyed the race here tonight at Daytona, and we'll see you for Friday night's Truck Series race at Darlington.
Bye.
See ya.